Hi, my name's Lane Hayden. I've been in the auto business for 25 years. And the other night I was watching Netflix and Amazon. I noticed I've seen everything on it. And I'd just like to thank Hollywood for making YouTube the new medium. And so I decided I'd make some YouTubes also. So this is my 370Z, and I made a short video before because YouTube said I couldn't do anything over 15 minutes. However, I've since learned how to bypass that problem. So this will probably be more than 15 minutes. I bought this car because I've always bought expensive cars. Cars that make it so you can never retire. So this car is a $30,000 car. And you know what? It's as good as any car on earth. And I'd probably know that from my experience with automotive. And if you look at it, I'll walk around and show it to you. It really looks good. I mean, it's a good looking car. People really like it too. So, I bought a Mustang in 2013, brand new Mustang. And it had all sorts of transmission problems, and the dealer they wanted to tell me nothing was wrong with the car. Well, I bought a Cobra Mustang in 2004, and it had clutch problems, and dealership wouldn't fix the clutch problems, so I sued them for lemon law, and they had to buy the car back, pay everything. I don't know what they're thinking. And when I was driving through Los Banos, I stopped there and I looked at some cars there. They had a bunch of Mustangs for sale there. And they all said they'd been returned on the lemon law. Now you gotta wonder, what's wrong with Ford? All those cars had a vent problem with the gas tank, so you couldn't fill the gas tank. All that needed to be done is the mechanic reach up there and pull the hose straight, and so the tank would vent, and it'd be fixed. But, you know, Ford didn't want to fix that. So basically I don't buy Fords anymore. And I bought a new Corvette, and I won't be buying any more Chevys either. But I've had a twin turbo Supra. I drove that for 120,000 miles. Literally bulletproof. And I defeated the wastegate, so I was running 20 inches of manifold pressure. And that car just never had a problem. Really fast, nice car. But now those are old cars now. And when I sold it, it still looked like brand new. But it rattled quite a bit. If you went over the railroad tracks, you wouldn't be happy. This car does not rattle at all. And I don't expect it to ever rattle, ever. My previous car was a NSX, and I really liked that car. I had it for 7 years, and you know, it was time to either paint it or, you know, put a timing belt in it, do some maintenance to it. And I decided I'd just go ahead and sell it. And, you know, what I did is I bought the Mustang, and then I sold the Mustang. Then I bought a Tacoma, and I have my Tacoma sitting right there. It has a Magnuson supercharger in it, which I installed myself. Me and one of my friends got together and we installed it in one day. To be truthful, we had to work on the download. The download wasn't right, so that took a few more days. But really, the work was done really in a day. And prior to that, I bought a brand new Miata in 2008, which I put a Cosworth supercharger on, and that was an extremely fast car with that supercharger on it. So, Japanese cars for me, and this one's really a good one. The only thing that I don't like about it is I didn't get the one with the heated mirrors. I'd like to have heated mirrors, but you can get them, but this car, I wanted the yellow with the stripes and the yellow accented interior and this is the car I wanted, and I think I could live without the heated mirrors. And so far, having the car for 2 years, in the wintertime, I haven't had any problems with the mirrors being fogged up, but I still would like to have heated mirrors. You know, the day will come when I'll wish it had heated mirrors. So, we'll walk around this car real quick, and I'll show you the engine. I've heard from other people say, you know, this is an antiquated car, you know, it's an ancient car. Well, you know, I don't know what's provoking that conversation. It's as modern as any car I can think of, and has 332 horsepower. And you know, if you live in the world of 40 miles an hour speed limit, well, I can spin the tires to 40 miles an hour. So another 100 horsepower would be fun to have, but I don't know, I don't see how I could really use it. Now, I had a 930 turbo. You could go 90 miles an hour in first gear. So that pretty much made the car really not a lot of fun to drive in a 40 mile an hour speed limit. You just drove around town in first gear, bogging the car. You know, it had, you know, I don't know. So, and also, this car has a stick shift in it, and a six-speed shift, and I really wanted a shifter car. And I just, what can you buy with that still has a shifter in it? Almost everything's an automatic. My friend has an RCF Lexus, and it's a great car. It has 100 horsepower more than this. Cost $40,000 more than this car. And it doesn't come in a shifter. My other friend that's a car guy, he just bought a new Supra. Yeah, fantastic car. However, not completely Japanese, part BMW, and no shifter. You know, only comes in automatic. And it's still a great car, but, you know, I just wanted a shifter. And I feel that this car is really just as quality as the Supra or the RCF. I mean, it's really a nice car. Anyway, let's take a quick look at it. I'll show you the engine. Here's the engine compartment, and let me make sure I have this focused. Anyway, the one thing about the engine compartment that I like is if you want to change a air filter, you just unclip it there, just lift it out. That's really kind of nice, being able to work on a car. Oil changes, if you do your own oil changes, I do. I don't want some 19-year-old kid burning up my engine because he forgot to put oil back in it. That's a super pain in the ass. And I've experienced that before. So I do my own oil changes. It's just not worth having to buy an engine. So this is my 370Z. It's 2018 model. I really haven't done a lot to it. I did buy some Chinese exhaust system, which is a catback system. I got one hell of a deal on it. It's like $285. I mean, I just couldn't believe I got that kind of a deal. When it came and I opened the box, I was extremely surprised it weighed 65 pounds. It was made out of heavy-duty stainless steel, so it's really a well-built system. I'm going to take this for a drive, and when we get out in the drive, I'll roll the windows down, you can hear the exhaust. Most V6 cars don't sound good. Most of them they just can't get the sound right. This car has an unbelievably good sounding engine, and it's 332 horsepower too. So in a 40 mile an hour zone, and that's where I live, it's enough power. So I'm going to pull out here and make sure we don't hit anybody. Close my gate behind me. Wait for the traffic to clear. Okay, ready? Here we go. So this car is extremely stable. If you like drifting, this is a car to have. You can control it while the tires are spinning. We're in Fresno, California. It's going to be about 105 today, so it's already warm. And I have to say that my engine is only to maybe 200 degrees, and I've seen it actually go down on really hot days. So the difference between Japanese cars and American cars is a Japanese car can sit and idle forever. Some American cars can, some can't. So let's roll down the windows and hear what this exhaust sounds like. Shot of that police officer. So if you notice, this car doesn't rattle at all. Makes no noise, which I really like. Now the Mustang I had was pretty good, but had a few squeaks in the dash, and it made a little bit of noise, a little bit of suspension noise. Lee here has a RCF Lexus. It doesn't make any noise, and it really goes. So there's been a big conversation about the windows going down by themselves when you're not at the car, and you come out and your windows are down. And there's all sorts of stuff all over the internet talking about, you know, this defect in the car, something in the computers turning down the windows. Well, a couple of real smart guys figured it out, and basically your key fob is in your pocket. And you know how you unlock your car, and you set off the horn on it or something because you crunch your key thing wrong in your pocket. Well, that's what happens in this car. If you hold the unlock button down for a period of time, it will roll down the windows, and that's what's happening. So if you're rolling your windows down, you need to be careful what you do with your key fob. I think the only problem I've had with this car is the striping has, you know, degraded quite a bit in 2 years. From the car sits in the sun all day long, and the black striping has started to kind of degrade. I did a video on buffing the stripes, and it did make them really nice, but after it set in the sun for a couple more days, you could see it starting to loosen up the stripe again. So I just went ahead and replaced the stripe on the front of the car myself, and I'll probably end up replacing all the stripes. It's kind of unusual for a Nissan to have something defective like that, but it happens. And other than that, I really can't think of anything that has been wrong with this car. So I've been driving it kind of hard in town here, and so I'm looking at my gas readout right now, and it says I'm getting 18.1 miles to the gallon in town, romping on it. That's why Nissan didn't make it a 450 horsepower engine. They wanted some gas mileage. I would have rather had the 450 horsepower engine, but I guess gas mileage is good. Should have wiped the dirt off this stripe out there, huh? I'll roll the windows back down so you can hear this when it goes through the gears. It doesn't look like there'd be cars next to us. That's definitely going to be over 15 minutes. So I intentionally didn't just go as hard as I could through the gears. I just drove through the gears so you could hear what it sounds like normally just kind of driving through the gears. Because the engine really sounds good. I like driving it. Add the brakes on this thing are incredible. I can't imagine buying aftermarket brakes for it. Walk around the car. Just take a quick photo mask on back there. So this model is the Heritage model, and it comes in this, well, one of the colors it comes in is the yellow with black stripes, which seems to be extremely popular. And oddly enough, you know, being the most, one of the, okay, go ahead. Start recording. So like I was starting to say earlier, the yellow and black is the Heritage model, which oddly enough is cheaper than a lot of the other models. I guess you can buy these cars, you know, probably up to about $50,000 or so. And this particular model sold for $30,000. Now that's a bargain of the century. When the next car that you can buy to this car is literally $20,000 to $30,000 more. probably wondering why that car ran the light in front of us. Well, we are in Fresno, so that might explain that. Okay, there's the RCF there.